Jubilant crowds danced and chanted in the streets of Brooklyn after a U.S. federal judge decreed an emergency halt to part of President Donald Trump's executive order banning immigrants from 7 majority Muslim countries. The judge ruled that sending back refugees and other immigrants with valid visas would cause irreparable harm. The ruling affects several hundred people who were en route to the U.S. or had just arrived.
We are people, we are not the government. We are not doing nothing. If the government does something wrong with this government, we are not responsible. I am American and Iranian. What they can do? Why I have to be punished for somebody else's problem?
Trump abruptly ordered on Friday that most people from Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Yemen, Syria, and Sudan would not be allowed to enter the country.
It's not a Muslim ban, but we're totally prepared. It's working out very nicely. You see it at the airports, you see it all over. It's working out very nicely, and we're going to have a very, very strict ban, and we're going to have extreme vetting, which we should have had in this country for many years.
A number of people with visas to enter the U.S. were stopped as they tried to board flights or were detained at airports. As word of these developments spread, crowds of protesters gathered at New York's Kennedy Airport, as well as airports in Washington, Boston, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and other cities. Civil rights attorneys leaped into action. Lawyers for the American Civil Liberties Union petitioned the Brooklyn judge to hear arguments on an emergency basis, and she quickly ruled in their favor.
The message is simple. I mean, this is completely un-American. This is an unlawful order, and it is making our communities much more at risk and not safer.
Trump had portrayed his executive order as an anti-terrorism measure, saying the U.S. needed extreme vetting of migrants from selected majority Muslim countries. The total ban is supposed to remain in effect for several months. He also ordered that when refugees were eventually allowed to enter the U.S. once more, preference would be given to religious minorities, meaning Christians.
We don't want any ban and we don't want any wall. We don't want a fascist USA.
This is not like Germany, Hitler, Nazi times. This is not anymore. This is 2017.
Trump's order caused an immediate uproar not only in the U.S. but abroad. The German and French foreign ministers condemned the ban, and Iran retaliated by banning any U.S. citizens from entering the Islamic Republic. In the U.S., Democratic Party leaders, religious groups, and business executives condemned Trump's order as discriminatory and inhumane, while Republicans applauded it. But it was the immediate, spontaneous, and widespread protests that were most likely to put Trump on notice that large numbers of Americans believe he's leading their country in the wrong direction. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Los Angeles.
Shalom. 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 I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahshai, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Much love, a salutation to the brothers out there doing the works in truth and sincerity. I just played the video of this whole refugee, Donald Trump passing the executive order where refugees can't, or people without valid green cards or so on, or anybody from those 7 Muslim countries what he named can't enter the U.S. So all of this is leading up to a racial war. So it's leading up to that's what it's ultimately going to lead up to, and it's going to lead up to civil unrest, chaos, and ultimately the concentration camps, because people is going to be protesting against this guy. This guy is going to be the guy who's going to, who's, I think he's gonna be the last king of Babylon, man. He's gonna be the one who's gonna bring martial law on a full scale. Obama wasn't the right guy for it, man. This is the perfect guy. You know? This guy's gonna bring martial law, man. So I'm just gonna go into a brief lesson, bring out a couple scriptures. The first scripture I'm gonna bring out is 2 Esdras 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. Because everything what's going on in this world is prophesied in the book, in the holy Bible, the King James version, you know, which you people have in your church, you have in hotels, in the courts, but you know our people don't read the book. Our people don't read their book, man. You know, they just want to sing and dance, you know. But right now, a whole bunch of life-changing things is about to happen, man. It's about to occur in this society, man. Some, you know, things that our parents never saw, or our grandparents, or their grandparents, or our forefathers, man. Some serious judgments coming upon earth, man. You know? And it's prophesied, you know, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So yeah, incredulity, that's talking about the unfaithful, man, the unbelievers. Because yeah, our people don't believe that. I mean, now our people is getting nervous, but they're still proud. But they're gonna, you know, like, they still don't see this kingdom going down. They think, you know, it's gonna change. Or, you know, if in the next 4 years we could just in the next 4 years our people saying, oh, like, we could just elect a new president, you know. But that's not going to be the case, because this guy could he could override, like, the whole election thing. He could pass some executive order where he's a president for an infinite amount of time, man, for an indefinite time. And what are you guys gonna do then? You know, but that's not even gonna happen. This guy's gonna bring the whole new world order, man. This is gonna be the guy who's gonna bring the new world order on a full scale. You watch that video and you listen to his words and, like, what he said, man. He doesn't feel no way about banning you damn Muslims, and then you know what, like, that's good that all this is happening, because you guys stole this land from our people anyways. You damn crackers, you damn Edomites and shit, and you damn Arabs, and you Hamites had us in slavery. You know, so end of the day, like, this is just gonna lead to a big race war and your destruction. You know, because as this race war is occurring, World War III is gonna happen. Then what's gonna happen after or during World War III? The salvation of Israel is gonna happen, and the Lord is gonna destroy you nations, and He's gonna use those intercontinental ballistic missiles to destroy you nations, man, and destroy America completely off the earth. You know, it says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. So that's talking about the brothers, you know, who died faithfully in this truth, who's in the spiritual realm, man. They're crying and they're complaining to the Lord, man, because they don't like this. They don't want to see our people live, you know, at the bottom. Our people suffering, you know. Last hired, first fired. You know, our people is impoverished. These other nations, you know, is ruling over us. You know, seeing our people getting shot down every day by the police. You know, our people being oppressed every day. They're tired of seeing all that stuff. You know, seeing these damn devils in power, these damn Edomites in power, and these other nations. They don't like, you know, our people's complaining, and so are the brothers out there who's teaching the word, man. You know, the brothers out there who's sighing and crying, man. You know, cause we're tired of living in this society at the bottom, and living under our oppressors, because we know who we are, man. We're the Israelites. We're the children of the power. What does Israel mean? It means Prince of God, man. You know? So we're princes, man. You know? So, like, we're not supposed to be at the bottom. But you know what? You know what happened? We went off. So the Most High had to punish us. You know? But this was a rude awakening, you know? And it's gonna be a rude awakening for our people, for 2/3 of our people, because they're gonna die, man. But the Lord's gonna have mercy on his elect, man, and 1/3, you know. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. So yeah, we're not gonna do nothing. Alright, because what the scriptures say, it says the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. So we can't do nothing to you damn devils and shit until the Lord's on our side, man. Because the Lord's gonna raise up the standard. The Lord's gonna lift up the standard, man. Alright? Because we can't fight against you damn devils. You know? You guys have all this technology and shit. All these weapons, bombs, arsenal. Our people can't fight no damn war against you. You know? So the Lord's gonna come fight our battle for us, man. And destroy you guys off the face of the earth. You damn devils, man. And destroy destroy the armies of, you know, who's gonna be fighting this world war. If you read 2nd Ezra's, I believe the 13th chapter, it goes into that, man. It says, and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Yeah, I was watching earlier this morning the documentary about Wayne Williams, this so-called serial killer in Atlanta, Georgia, where they were missing Israel. They're missing so-called black little boys who were kidnapped, and they were strangled and then thrown in rivers and forests. You know, and basically the guy's saying he's innocent. The guy's saying he didn't do it, and they're just trying to use him as a scapegoat, so that because if they were to arrest a white man for those murders, it would have led to a race war back in the late 70s, you know, and yeah, man. So it's like, you know, like, I believe of watching that video, and basically like what they're saying, like they don't have enough evidence. He was charged for he was given a double life sentence for the homicides, or for like 2 murders he was charged for, and he was given a double life sentence. But they're basically saying that basically, if you watch the video, like, you'd see like it's a conspiracy, man. Like, you know, like between the government, the CIA, and the KKK, man, who are murdering our people. That's just one example. You know, our people being brought over here as slaves, you know, sold on auction blocks. You know, our people, you know, amongst the Gadites, the Native Americans, our people were scalped. For every scalp, the bounty was $1. You know, so you guys are gonna have to pay for all that blood, man. There's a lot of blood on your hands for the Panama, in this early I believe it was in the 80s, man. The Panama invasion when America went down there and they used all these supersonic weapons and shit on the people and killed them off. You know, you going amongst our people and, you know, slaughtering them, you know, and draining their countries or draining their land of resources, man. You devils are gonna have to pay for all that, man. You have a lot of blood on your hands, man. All right, and the Most High is about to bring His judgment against you and the other nations, man. You damn Edomites and the other nations. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt. So yeah, it's talking about America. If you look on the dollar bill, if you look on the American dollar bill, you see that it has a pyramid with an all-seeing eye. You know, because that's what the elites of this society they worship, man. You know, that eye represents Horus. You know what I mean? That's just one level to, you know, like that eye represents Horus, which is an Egyptian god. You know? And you guys have the Washington Monument, which is an Egyptian phallic symbol. It's supposed to represent the rod of, Nimrod or Osiris, which is the Egyptian equivalent, Osiris or whatever. The rod, his penis. Because that's what it represents, man. Because, you know, you guys follow after the so-called Hamites or the Africans, man. Which were a bunch of, you know, homosexuals, man. And that's why the Most High had to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. Because you damn Hamites were fucking committing sodomy, man. That's where that term comes from. From Sodom. From the actual city. That was known for their homosexual acts and bestiality, man. You know, so the Most High destroyed that. And it's the same thing's gonna happen. Like He destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, He's gonna destroy America. Like He destroyed the Egyptians, man. Pharaoh. You know, the Lord's gonna destroy the modern day Pharaoh, man. Which will be Donald Trump, man. I think he'd probably be the last president of the United States, Lord willing, man. You know, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail and the fearful consolation. So yeah, so famine's coming, man. You know, cause spring's coming up soon. Let's see how that comes in, man. You know, like there might be there might be a lot of droughts, you know, on the farms, on these lands, man. So a lot of crop probably won't even come in this season, you know. Don't be surprised if that happens, man. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So yeah, right now the whole earth is nervous right now, man. Because they see what's happening in America, and it's gonna follow suit in their countries, man. A lot of chaos and destruction, death and destruction, man. Plagues is gonna follow through, man. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight. Slakia. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Yeah, what's the modern day sword? Guns, man. But when these people run out of bullets, they're gonna go back to, you know, using knives. You know, and whatever they could get their hands on, man. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. I'm going to look up that word sedition, man. Look up that word sedition. It's a heavy word, you know. Sedition, rebellion, uprising, revolt, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority. That's what's coming to America, man. That's what's coming to Canada. That's what's coming to London. You know, Europe. What's going to Africa, Asia, South America, Caribbean. You know, into the four corners of the globe, man. Violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder. You see, civil and yeah, there's gonna be a civil war and there's gonna be a religious war between the Christians, Muslims, because like the way how they describe, like the way how they want it to be, whatever. Oh, like America is a Christian country, so we're banning the Muslims and shit. It's all a big facade, you know. It's all bullshit. No, but it's gonna like everything what's happening is systematic to lead up into this race war, man. Riot, rebelliousness against authority, yeah, and directly from Latin, seditomnen or sedito, civil disorder, distension, strife, rebellion, mutiny, literally a going apart, separation, yeah. Yeah, man, it's a good word, man. I never really looked up the etymology of that, man. It's a serious thing, but that's the times that we're living in, man. Sedition. We're in the times of sedition. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able, because what's going to happen? There's going to be martial law, man, because it's going to get so bad out here that the troops, that these armies, United States armies or the United Nations armies, because you know, if the U.S. troops rebel against this whole Trump guy, like if the U.S. troops rebel against Trump, all they're gonna do is bring in the United States or the United troops, Union or whatever, the UN troops, the United Nations troops, right? Like as backup, man, and they're not gonna hesitate. They're not gonna hesitate to execute judgment upon these people, man. You know, they're not gonna hesitate to kill you people, man, and to do what they're gonna do. You know, to put you guys in concentration camps and all that, cause that's what's gonna come, man. It's gonna be a civil. It's gonna be a civil war, man. You know, and the cities are gonna be shut down. You know, they're gonna shut down the airport. They're gonna shut down public transportation, subways, and stuff. So, you know what I mean. So you people's gonna be trapped in these major cities, man. Cause if you live in an urban major, if you live in an urban metropolitan, it's just a trap. It's a big trap, man. You know, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. That's what's gonna come, because the grocery stores aren't gonna be open and shit. You guys are gonna be under curfew. You know, all kind of hell is gonna break loose, man. That's why the brothers who's out there prophesying, and if you're watching the videos, you know, pray unto the Lord, man, that that you don't get caught up in this destruction, man. You know. But even if some of us do, remain faithful unto death, man. You know, if you die in this thing, if you die in this truth, you're gonna be the first one risen up. You know. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together. That was the main point. Gonna get Isaiah 13 verse 7. Slack here. Isaiah 13. One moment. Isaiah 13 verse 7. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Man. And they shall be afraid, and pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as women that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be at flames, man. That's talking about the nuclear destruction, man. Because you people is going to be shitting yourselves. And all you mighty men, you military officials, you so-called tough guy, you so-called tough Edomites, or you courageous devils and you courageous heathens, man. You guys are going to be shitting yourself when all this shit's happening, or when all this destruction's occurring. What are you going to do? You can't do nothing. You're going to have to swallow down the cup, man. You're going to have to swallow down the cup of the Lord's indignation, man. That bitter red wine, it's going to be dry, man. Bitter. You're going to have to swallow all of it down, man. Even after your destruction for 1,000 years, you're going to be drinking of that indignation, man. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Yeah. That's why this has to happen too, to destroy the 2/3. Because they're sinning before the Lord. Like, we're sinners at the moment, just we're trying to do the right thing by coming back to our heritage and going on the highways and byways doing the work. Because sin dwelleth in this carnal temple. That's why we need to we need those celestial bodies, man, or we need those extraterrestrial bodies, man. Where the law is gonna be, it's gonna be programmed inside those bodies, inside our new bodies, according to Hebrews 8:8, man. Cause nothing but sin dwelleth in this flesh. But our people is wicked. Our people don't want to come back to the Heavenly Father. They want to continue to, eat pork, eat shrimp or whatever. Go to the church. You know what I mean? Worship Caesar Borgia, which was an actual man. So the Lord's gonna judge you guys, man. You guys don't want to come back to your heritage. You don't want to study who you are. You just want to be a nigga. You want to listen to music and dance and get high on drugs. That's all our people want to do. And sing and dance. That's all they want to do. It says, behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath, fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth. So yeah, your soothsayers, your psychics, or your your priests, your demonic damn druid priests, you know, as to who you guys go to every month or whatever, every week or every day you guys summon up these spirits or whatever, you know, they're not gonna be able to give you guys no answer, man, as to how you could save yourself out of this. Or if they do give you counsel, it's all false, man. It's all false, you know. But soon you're gonna be called upon those spirits, and they're not even gonna answer you guys. You know, Rothschild calling upon those demons. You know, like they're not gonna answer it, man. It's coming down to that. Then you guys are gonna be shitting yourselves, man. Just know that you guys are gonna go into slavery, man. You know, get ready for slavery, cause you guys know what's gonna happen. That's why you make movies like Planet of the Apes, you know, because you know that the so-called black man, Hispanic, and Native American man are gonna get back their power from the Heavenly Father and gonna rule the earth again. So yeah, just get ready to go in slavery, man, and keep our keep a good watch on the gold what you guys have reserved, because cause we're coming for that too. In those vaults, those mega vaults you guys have, and those private vaults you have, and the vaults what's underneath your houses or whatever, and all those ancient artifacts or ancient treasures you guys have. We're coming for all of that. Through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, man. You guys stole all those things, man. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Yeah. Donald Trump's gonna get humbled, man. He thinks he has so much. Well, he does have power right now with he's signing all those executive orders with the pen, but the Most High is gonna humble his ass, man. When he's gonna come back and judge the earth, man. He's gonna humble his ass, man. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Yeah, they're talking about Israelite, man. All right. Because at the end of the day, the Lord's only going to be, because the Lord's only going to have a hedge around his men, his elect men. And so soon, like, a lot of you women is going to come out the woodwork, and you're going to start looking for us. We're not going to be looking for you. Because where the hell were you guys when we're going through all this hell and shit? You're gonna come running up to us, and you're gonna be all messed up, man. That's too bad, cause a lot of you damn women are gonna get the boot in their face that day, man. You're gonna be, you're gonna be what's that? When I get that scripture, Micah 7:10 after, man. So therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the days of his fierce anger. So yeah, that's what's coming, man. It will shake the heaven just off those nuclear destruction, man. It's gonna shake the whole earth, man. It's gonna make it real. The scripture says the earth shall reel to and fro, man. So when those nuclear bombs are dropping, man, the whole earth's gonna be reeling to and fro, man. Bro, this gonna be the worst destruction that ever happened. It's gonna be even bigger than the flood or any other destruction what the Lord did upon earth. This is gonna be the second death, because the first death was the Lord destroying the world by water. Now he's gonna destroy these people by fire, man. And it shall be as the chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. Everyone that is, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So soon a lot of you you damn heathen are gonna just leave Babylon. You're gonna leave America or whatever, like Canada, and you're gonna try to you're gonna just go back to your home, because you're gonna be like, you know what, America is no longer great. It's not the land of milk and honey no more. So you're gonna have to just go back home and take whatever you got from here and establish yourself back in your country, because because the water's dried up, man. Pretty much. So everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. So that's clear as day, man. The Lord's not gonna have the Lord's not gonna have no mercy upon you people, man. You people's children are gonna be dying, and your wives. They said your wives are gonna be ravished. So there's gonna be a lot of rape out here, man. That's what's gonna happen, man. Cause there's not gonna be no police to call or nothing. There's gonna be all kind of chaos out here, man. So you woman who's walking around careless, you're gonna be looking for a real man that day. And just we're gonna be as a hiding place, man. Lord willing. You're gonna be looking for us, but you're not gonna be able to find us. But the ones of you who's right and stuff, or who's gonna fall in line, if the Lord has mercy on you, you're gonna be okay. But the ones who's straight up demons, you had a whole bunch of, you had abortions, you're just messed up, man. You're bugged out your mind, man. The Most High is gonna judge you, damn woman, too, man. He's gonna bring a lot of judgment upon women. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So yeah, the Medes right there is talking about the Russians, man. Alright. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Yeah, that's talking about the nuclear missiles, man. Alright. And Babylon, the glory of kingdom, the beauty of Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. The Arabians, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make fold there. Yeah, so you Arabs, Donald Trump is he's kicking you Arabs out the country right now. You can't even come in anymore. So yeah, that's a prophecy right there, man. Because what's the scripture that I opened up with? Speak thou in the ears of my people, prophecy, yeah, in the ears of Israelites people. But like as we're speaking outside in the public, like you other nations is being condemned too, man. So yeah, that's a prophecy right there. So yeah, you Arabs you're gonna have to go back in the desert, man. And go fucking establish yourself back home in your countries, wherever the hell you're from, man. Alright, but that's not gonna even work, because all that's gonna it's gonna be in vain. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So yeah, the Lord's gonna speed it up, man. Who knows? This could happen this year. It could happen anytime. Cause that day, no man knows, man. That time, day, hour, month, nobody knows, man, except the Most High. Not even the Lord knows. Not even His Son. Only the Most High knows that day. So the Most High could speed up the days right now. And just end this whole thing, quick. But with that, I like to say, shalom to the brothers out there. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the 1/3 out there, who's out there on highways and byways doing the works, who's watching the videos, who's not awakened but who's gonna awake, and death and destruction to this place, man, to Babylon, to America, Canada, these other nations, man, death and destruction, because that's what the Lord's gonna bring. And with that, I'd like to say, Kwam Yasha Allah, Shalom.